Hi, I'm Clark.
And I'm Emily.
And we're from Sailing Vessel Temptress.
And we live aboard our boat here in the Dominican Republic right now, and this is what the last 30 days has looked like for us.
Hi, I'm Emily.
And I'm Clark.
We opted out of a typical American life to live more independently, frugally, and off the grid.
We currently travel the world aboard our antique sailboat named Temptress.
Each month, we sit down to tell you where we are, what we're doing, share the best and worst moments, answer questions, and tell you exactly how much it costs us to live this life.
This is our adventure log for October 2021. We decided to do something a little different this time. We've been holed up in that bay for a long time now, and one of the downsides of that bay is it's all mangroves around, so there's lots of nutrients, lots of life, and you really don't want to swim in the water. It's just full of, you can't see through it. Well, we realized if we went out into the ocean, it's a little rollier out here, but we found this little cove, and we can swim here. So we've come out to go swimming, and we're going to do our monthly update from here. So I hope you don't get seasick.
Let's see, the weather here's been pretty good. It's actually been very dry, not a whole lot of rain. There was a little bit of rain at the beginning of the month, but for the most part, the boat's been open and we've been living outside for the most part.
Well, you know how it goes. We haven't put this video out yet, but I did a video on a wind scoop for the forward hatch that has this rain baffling system. And I have to have a heavy rain to be able to finally adjust and finish the sewing. And we all know when you do something like that, it'll never rain. So I control the weather.
Yeah, and it's starting to cool off a little bit. We actually need a blanket at night. Yeah, it's getting down to like, I don't know, 75.
Yeah, we haven't used the air conditioner in weeks.
Yeah. We'll have to get some footage here. There's like all these little yellow butterflies around right now. Every once in a while, there's little leaves falling from the trees. It's kind of nice. Wow, it's really wavy.
Yeah, well, it is what it is.
We'll see if this works.
It's usually calmer here, but today's the day we chose to do this, and there must be a big storm north of us because there's more wave here than the amount of wind would have warranted.
So what have we been working on for boat projects? I guess the big thing is the BBMS.
The BBMS is an ongoing thing, but not so much anymore. I got my latest board back from the manufacturer, and barring one little error that I have to hand solder a fix for, but there's only 10 boards, so I don't mind that. And one thing I would like to have done better, which I will in the next board, it works a charm. I've tested it to 24 volts. I haven't tested it to 48 just because I don't have a source for 48. It's on my friend's boat, which is our main test boat now, working wonderfully, very accurate. It can read down to 1/10 of an amp, which is way more than it needs to for its job. I'm pretty happy with it. So probably within a week, I'm going to make a serious purchase, assuming I can find all the parts in this day and age. And it won't be long at all before you'll see a video describing it in detail and saying, here's where you sign up to buy one. Yeah, sorry it's been so long since I first mentioned it, but we do have a life doing other stuff.
Yeah. We're going to put out a video soon about our wind scoop. We built a new wind scoop. We make our own. Surprise, surprise, rather than just buying one. So we'll put a pattern up on Patreon and a video out on that soon.
That would be a good winter project for somebody. It's real easy. If you want a first sewing project, this would be it. And there's no need to get a big industrial sewing machine for this job. You're not going through a lot of layers. You can do it with a regular Singer that you make dresses with.
Any other projects this month? I think that's about it.
You've got your game thing always going on.
Yep, always working on games.
That's that other channel.
Yeah. Just cleaning up the bathroom. I think we're gonna paint the bathroom soon.
Yeah, we have a company that makes paints. This is just a perk, I guess, of getting the extra subscribers. They said, hey, can we send you some paint? So they're sending us paint and varnish, and we're going to start painting and varnish. Temptress sorely needs some painting and varnish. I haven't really done everything and made her look really good in, well, it was about 95, so it's been a while. And she's had a lot of miles under her since then.
And speaking of varnish, my dinghy is in need of some repair. Had a little bit of an accident last month, and I am in the midst of restructuring the mast up and the part of the boat that holds the mast. So that's another project we're working on. Always busy, always something to do. Aside from projects, daily life, cooking, cleaning, doing the laundry, fixing things, keeping the boat in order.
BBMS.
We had a couple patrons visit us to get their own BBMS.
Yeah, somebody really wanted a BBMS, and I just kind of, we have this deal on Patreon at the upper levels. You can either write us, or at the very highest level, you just call us up and chat with us. We help solve problems and things. And we're chatting on the phone about it. You know, when will it be available? I really want it. I want to buy my lithium batteries. I said, well, I got one here. It's been on Temptress for a while. You know, it's that earlier version, but it met their needs, immediate needs. And I said, you know, if you were here, I'd just give it to you. Well, we got a deal on airfare. We'll fly out. I was surprised. Anyway, they flew out, and we had a nice day with them. It's why we didn't have a live stream last month, because they were coming the next day, and we needed to have the day open. So we'll have the live stream again tomorrow. Look in the description for updates in case we change it, but we'll have our normal live stream tomorrow at 3 o'clock?
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock, because we normally do it. Yep.
Eastern.
Daylight savings is coming up, so we'll figure it out. We'll put it in the description below.
Yeah, we're in, I think it's Atlantic time, but during this part of the year, it's the same as Eastern.
Yep. Other updates, a boat burned down in the bay at the end of end of October, which has made us think a lot about fire safety. We went to go test our smoke alarm, and it didn't have a battery in it. Oops. And we need to update our fire extinguishers and things. So safety aboard might be a topic for an upcoming video. We'll see.
Yeah. Oh, I think we'll certainly do one on fire on a boat and preparedness.
COVID year has gotten a little bit more intense, the situation. A lot of more cases in the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, people are masking up again. They're putting restrictions on again. For some reason in the whole Caribbean, the Dominican Republic is like the worst place all of a sudden.
Yeah, well, I guess people move around it. It's a big island, you know.
Yeah, it is the biggest island.
You don't have to take a boat to get between places, so.
Yeah.
We went to Santiago this month to help a friend go buy a car, and went to the grocery store, and they were checking everybody's vaccination records and things like that. So it is the security, the thinking of COVID is up quite a bit here. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it felt weird. There was this line, and we didn't understand the Spanish, so we walked by, and we heard somebody say "turistas," and what apparently it is now is you have to show vaccination proof before you can go in the grocery store. But
they assumed we were tourists.
Yeah, and if you're a tourist, you would have had to show it to be able to get into the country, so they just assumed that we were cool. Also, they probably didn't want to try to speak our bad Spanish.
Yeah. Best and worst part of this month?
The best for me is that BBMS, having the board, the final board be there. Just a little bit of software to finish up for the higher voltages and stuff, and that thing's ready to go. And all the dragons are slayed, so it's all gonna work, I'm absolutely sure. Worst?
Worst part?
Pretty obvious.
I was seeing boat burn down.
Yeah, that was terrible for that guy.
Yeah, I also, I have not a close friend, but an acquaintance that we met in the Bahamas who went missing at sea just last Thursday, I guess, and we were quite worried for a while. They had done searches and tried to find him, and it wasn't looking very good, and he just turned up this morning. He had gotten blown off course and arrived in the Bahamas, which was kind of nice, but stressful. But we've been thinking a lot about preparedness and safety and all those things, I think, in the past week. So just thinking about, like, is our EPIRB working? Who gets notified if we go missing? All those sorts of things.
Yeah, if you are gonna go cruising, tell your friends and family that, be realistic about you not checking in. If you've got an EPIRB on board, I tell, like my mother, you don't call the Coast Guard until they call you and tell the EPIRB went off, basically. Because things happen. He had a small boat, it was slow, and in the Gulf Stream crossing, he got swept by the Gulf Stream way up north. So he just took a different opportunity, but it took him like 3 days to get there. And he didn't have but he didn't have long-range communication, so it just wasn't until he got there that he could tell anyone.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
life out here.
Yeah, it is life. What else? I think the other best thing is we got a new laptop this month.
Oh yeah.
So we're able to render videos much more quickly, process things. The computer isn't crashing every 10 minutes during a video edit.
And so you
is
don't all
nice.
ask, it's an Asus G17, and it has that Ryzen 9, I think it is, chip, the big powerful one with 8 cores and a graphics processor. Wow, it has made such a difference. We had a good from 4 years ago machine before, but this one, it makes life so much easier to not have to wait 40 minutes for something to be able to be checked.
Yeah, so shout out to our patrons, those people who support us on Patreon, because just that extra bit of income lets us say, our computer sucks, we need a new one, okay, let's just buy one.
Yeah, this
and let's
is
buy the best one.
Yeah, most expensive computer I've ever bought in my life by a power of 2. But honestly, it's worth it with what we do. So thanks for letting us use the right tools to do the job.
Yeah, for sure.
We've also got one other big thing.
What's that?
Emily, tell us about the budget.
Oh yeah, the budget. Our expenses for this month were fairly typical compared to the rest of the year. We spent $475 on food and drink, including $385 on groceries, which included a stock-up trip when we went to Santiago this month, $50 on restaurants, $40 on wine and alcohol. Then we spent $26 on household, including toilet paper and cleaning supplies, those sorts of things. Utilities, $112, which included our phone and water bill. $60 on our mooring, as usual. $35 in spare parts. $89 in healthcare, including our insurance, and a few medicinal things. Then we had $18 in streaming services, $58 in postage and miscellaneous, and that's it. Total $874 for the month, bringing our monthly average for 2021 to date to $1,153, and our total expenses year to date to $11,530. So even with the big grocery stock-up trip in Santiago, it is hard for us to go over $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
It's still great life, and it's still a great budget-friendly way to live, I think.
Yeah, we had some reports there that were high, but if you look back at them, or maybe you can't see the detail, but
Usually healthcare or something like that.
Healthcare was a big bunch of it, and also, like, we were tracking a lot of the things that are going into the BBMS project, which really isn't part of cruising for normal people.
Yeah.
That really should have been outside the budget. So I'm buying spare parts, and I'm buying, let's see how this works to compare 3 different current sensors, and none of that should have been there. And the shipping for that was fairly pricey. But that should just be on us separately, because we're not going to show you the profit for that, so it's right out of the deal.
Yep. Anything for intentional living?
I can't think of anything in particular.
Yeah, no, I think the safety thing maybe.
Yeah.
Just getting out, doing more of this. Maybe not filming it every time, because maybe you're seasick by now. But doing more of getting out, seeing the world around us safely.
Swimming in clean water.
Swimming in clean water. Yep. Getting some boat projects done. Knocking things out. Getting ourselves enjoying that we're here, and also being ready to sail.
Yeah.
Again.
I don't know exactly when we're leaving. It'll have a lot to do with, like, how Panama is about letting people in that have visited what other countries beforehand. It's this whole, I don't know, this whole chart has to kind of be developed nowadays. But we want to be ready.
Yep. So getting ready, but also enjoying that we're here. Cool. And I think that's it for us.
Okay.
I think we're gonna go swimming now.
Yep. Well, bye from Temptress.
Bye.
And
Do you guys
let's,
have a good day?
it's starting to get hot, so I'm
yeah.
going in.
I guess we have to take off our microphones before we jump in the water, huh? I would have just jumped right in.
I'm glad you didn't. We're still being filmed.
I thought you were gonna jump in with your shirt.
It's all good out. I want to see.
Okay.
But with no regrets,
Ready?
Yep.
living
Whoa.
life authentically. So we packed up this antique boat to adventure.